Just giving it a little test.
How's it feeling?
Good. Try to figure out whether I can take my jacket or if it's going to be too heavy, because I've got to carry this across Spain, so every little thing counts.
See you in 5 weeks or more.
Goodbye. Have a great time, you.
Bye. Okay, on to the next adventure. Solo adventure. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna miss it. Hello folks, so you have just seen Benny heading off and you're probably wondering, where's he going? What's all this talk about Spain and 5 weeks and why am I here on my own? Well, Benny is going on an epic adventure of his own for the next 5 weeks. He is doing the Camino across the north of Spain. If you don't know what the Camino is, it's a 5-week walk. It's 500 miles or 800 kilometers across the north of Spain. So there's a lot of different routes. Some people do the one that goes through Portugal, but he's doing that one, which is the most popular one, and you start off in the south of France and you walk across the north of Spain to Santiago de Compostela. That's where he is, and he's actually sent me a little video to play to you guys, explaining in his own words why he's doing this.
Today I went to the hostel and left my bag there. It's a really lovely place. And then I queued up to get my Camino passport, and that's where you get given a book, and every place you stay they stamp it, and so it kind of gives you the memory of the Camino, and it also acts as proof that you've actually done it. But I also just wanted to say that, explain a bit why I'm actually doing this in my own words, because it does feel so weird to be here without Emily. As you know, we do everything together, we go everywhere together, especially at beautiful places like this, so it feels really weird and very sad to not have her here with me. But I just needed a bit of time to take a step back from our regular lives together. As you know, we've had a really confusing year actually, and I'm feeling a bit lost and just muddled, I suppose, and I'm really hoping that walking for a very long way for many days is gonna help give me some clarity, help inspire me and give me a bit more of a clear vision of what it is we're trying to do in life, and find inspiration, do some soul searching, and just, yeah, find clarity. And it is a walk that a lot of people do for that reason, and I'm hoping it's going to work for me. If it doesn't, whatever. There's no expectations, by the way. I'm just hoping for the best. I also wanted to just be like open with everyone that watches, because we've both got a lot of love for everybody who tunes in and watches our videos. My plan isn't to like vlog this a lot. I do want to keep giving updates because I love sharing what I do, but it is for me first and foremost. But I am going to keep giving you little updates. So that's it from me for now. I'm going to go back, freshen up and have a lovely home cooked meal at this hostel, and then tomorrow morning the walk begins.
Before you start worrying if there's anything wrong with me and Benny, no, there's nothing wrong. We just needed some time to figure some things out. I thought it was time to give you a proper update, explain a few things that have been going on behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure that our whirlwind of the last 8 months has really been coming across in our videos, and there's a few things happening behind the scenes that we haven't explained to you guys yet for various reasons. But yeah, you're gonna have to excuse any background noise. I am actually currently in Brighton visiting some friends, so there's gonna be some road noise, there's gonna be some people talking outside and stuff, so just bear with me. The last 8 months since we sold the narrowboat has been a wild ride. So in October last year, we sold our 56-foot narrowboat home that we had lived on for 3.5 years. There's many reasons why we sold that. We did do a whole video on that, so if you want to go back and check that out. But the main thing was that we wanted to be freer to move further. When you're a continuous cruiser on the canal, you have to move your boat every 2 weeks at least. And so that means you can't go away for very long. So we couldn't go away for like a month or 6 weeks unless we found a mooring, and they're quite expensive and they're really hard to find. So it was restricting us. We had sort of lost the passion for boat life as well, and I think if you don't have that passion for it, all of the really hard things that comes with living on a boat, it just becomes harder. It just doesn't feel worth it at all. So we decided to sell the boat, and we moved in to our self-converted ex-ambulance, Ronnie, who I am in right now. Many of you will know him. We converted him last year, yeah. Now he's not a very big van, but it was never going to be like a long-term thing. It was always just a sort of stepping stone while we found the next thing, which was a bigger van. We were looking for a bigger van to do up as a project. It was going to be sort of the best build that we'd ever done, the most ambitious build that we've ever done, and it would be a proper home with hot running water in the shower, heating, you know, everything. This van has it to a certain extent, but it's all quite basic. So that was the plan, and we finally found our dream van, which was the Mercedes Vario. So we had a very clear plan. We were going to document it all for you guys, and we had a clear plan of the content that we were going to have. But about 2 months into that build, we started to realise that actually maybe what we wanted was a proper base. So let me just rewind slightly here. When we were looking for the bigger van, we knew that we were going to be getting involved with a land project where we could park the van regularly and then go travelling from there. But as time went on, we realised we didn't want to do that anymore. So that's where the idea of having a base that was our own, like a piece of land that was our own, or a house or something like that, that was our own, that we could come and go from without worrying anyone else, without disturbing anyone else. And Merlin, that's what our Mercedes was called, just didn't fit into that plan anymore, unfortunately. So we decided to sell him. Let me just have a drink, one sec. So it was not an easy decision at all. We absolutely loved that van. It is an incredible van. We said goodbye to Merlin and we started the search for a house or some land. So while we're on the subject of vans, I just want to mention this week's partner, Sterling Insurance. As many of you know, we have been insured with Sterling for over a year. They've always been brilliant, and recently I needed to up the mileage allowance on Ronnie, this van, because we're doing so many miles. It was super easy, super quick. The customer service is always amazing. If you live in an alternative way like we do, whether that's in a van, self-build, camper, narrowboat, and you don't have like a fixed address, it doesn't matter, they will insure you. We've got lots of friends who have got really old vans or really quirky vans and they struggle to find insurance, but Sterling sorted them out. So definitely go check them out. I'll put the link in the description. But back onto the update. So yeah, we were at a point we just knew we needed to get a base, and we started looking. We didn't know whether we wanted like a normal house or some land or like a cottage in Wales, Scotland, England. We just didn't know. We looked and looked and we finally found a really lovely house. Now, we haven't told any of you guys about this yet. I think we maybe mentioned that we were having some problems with a base that we'd found. So I'm going to give you a proper explanation of all that. So we really, really wanted somewhere that we could come and go from. Somewhere that had space for all of our things. Not that we have a lot of stuff, but a music room for Benny. Somewhere that we could just chill, like rest and recuperate and recharge our creative flow as well. Because when we're making videos week to week, it can get quite exhausting. When we haven't got anywhere to go back to and we're just constantly on the road, it's hard to recharge that creativity. So that was the plan, and after searching for a while, we found somewhere. We found an end terrace house. I think it took us by surprise that that's what we went for, but it was near where some of my family is, it's near where some of Benny's family is, and it was just like a really, really lovely house. It was an old bakery, very fitting for us. You know how much we love our pastries. It actually had a Victorian oven in the basement. We loved it. There was a place for the van outside. There was 3 bedrooms, so one for Benny's music room, one for my like art or work room, and then our bedroom, and yeah, it was just brilliant. So we were just super excited. We couldn't believe we'd found somewhere that we liked, and it was, I guess we'd found it quite quickly really. We thought it was going to take us months and months and months to find, but we found it quite quickly, so we were just so excited. And I think it just felt like we were finally making a decision that made sense long term. But as you can tell, I'm talking about all this in the past tense. So yes, there was a massive problem. And after 2 months of all the fun stuff, like doing all the paperwork and all of that kind of stuff, we unfortunately found a big problem. Before I tell you that next bit, I am going to move the van. I need to find a new park up. Since I dropped Benny off at the airport last week, I've actually been just visiting friends. So I went to Hastings and visited Ulla, who you may know, and she has actually restarted her YouTube channel, so definitely go check out what she's been up to. Then I came to Brighton and I've been visiting Liam and Janine from Those Happy Days, and we've just been having such a nice time. Me and Benny have actually spent quite a lot of the summer with those guys. It's just been really magical, really special. But yeah, I need to go find those guys now. I'm gonna go have a coffee with them and say goodbye, because I'm not gonna see them for a while now. So my parking is running out. I need to head off now before that happens, and I will continue my update and story later.
They're all empty. I got to film while we were full.
Okay folks, I've just said goodbye to Liam and Janine. It's sunny. I don't want to leave Brighton, but yeah, my parking is running out. I need to be quite quick, and then we'll go to our next park up spot for the night. Hello folks, I have just arrived at my new park up. This is awesome. I am somewhere in Suffolk. It is really sunny, it's a really beautiful park up. Just check that out. Perfect. So yesterday I headed back into Brighton, went and said goodbye to Liam and Janine, had a coffee with them, and then I actually ended up going to see my dad yesterday, so that's why I didn't get to the park up today. But I am here now. It is absolutely glorious. And yeah, I just can't believe this place. Look, I'm parked next to bushes, so no one can see in the side door. There's bins here. It's really lovely. I'm so happy. Right, I'm going to sort the van out a little bit because it's a bit of a mess. Need to put the bed away, sort things out, and then I will carry on with my update for you. Okay folks, so we were up to buying a house and then finding out that something was very wrong with it, unfortunately. So after a lot of toing and froing with builders and structural engineers and just general advice, we decided to pull out of the purchase of that house. We found out basically that it needed underpinning, which isn't great. I mean, I don't really fully understand what that is, but I know that it's not a good thing. Part of the lintel had cracked, it was dropping, the foundations had eroded slightly, so we decided to pull out of the purchase, which we were really sad about, obviously. We absolutely loved that house, we were so excited, we really felt like we were taking a step in the right direction for the first time in a while. And yeah, we were back to the drawing board again and felt quite deflated, I guess. But then we sort of turned that around and we used it as a time to pause and just try and figure things out. And that is pretty much where we're at. So Benny has gone to do the Camino and I'm having some time in the van just to do some solo travels, see people, and just both of us get some headspace. You may be thinking, why did we not just buy another house, or why did we not look for something else? Well, the area we were looking in, there was nothing else available within our budget or that we liked. There was one place within our budget, but it was on a hill like this. Okay, I've just put the kettle on. I need another cup of tea with all this talking. But yeah, so it has been an absolute whirlwind for us. And I think that once the house had fallen through, or once we pulled out of it, it's just made us, like I say, with this pause, it's just made us really think, is that really what we want? I feel like we have just rushed into things at each step after we've sold that boat last October, and we have just got to the point of a bit of burnout, just feeling, to be completely honest with you guys, we've been feeling a little bit low, and I think it is the burnout. I think it's just the roller coaster ride we've been on, and this pause just means that we can really hone in on how do we feel, what do we really, really want long term. We are so grateful for what we have, and we love making the videos. We feel so lucky to be able to live this life of freedom and making money on the road, but sometimes it just gets a bit much, and we don't ever want to sound ungrateful, but that's just the truth of it. It's just become a bit much, and we know we've put ourselves into this situation. The pause is very much needed. I'm really looking forward to this cup of tea. We are still planning to go to Morocco. We still have that plan in mind. Obviously we were going to be doing that in Merlin, the Mercedes, but we will be doing that in Ronnie, or maybe not. You'll just have to wait and see. So I do have a pretty big project lined up for myself. Guesses in the comments. I'm going to explain more about that at some point, obviously. But yeah, we have loads to look forward to. We just need to have some time to get some creative flow back. I think when all of this stuff is going on, it just doesn't really leave that much time for like creativity and creative input for the videos. And we want to put good videos out, guys. We want to put videos that we love and we are happy about and that we're happy with for you. And I think recently we've been feeling like we're not doing our best. I know you guys love the videos anyway, but we don't feel like they're our best. So that's why we've been a bit quieter. A lot of you have obviously noticed we've been posting sort of every other week, and it's probably going to continue like that just for a little bit longer while we take this time to sort some things out. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for sticking with us. We are not going anywhere. This is not the end of YouTube for us. We're not stepping back or anything like that. We are just having a little bit of time, basically. But within that, I am probably going to post a couple of solo videos, so definitely look out for those. Goodness knows what's going to happen. I did used to live in a van on my own for a long time before I met Benny, but you know, having been together for over 6.5 years now and spending pretty much 24 hours a day with him, it's good to have my independence back and go on some adventures of my own. And for example, this spot here, you know, this would be the sort of place that me and Benny would come to, but I've never parked somewhere like this on my own, where I'm kind of like a little bit out in the sticks. I sort of normally stay where there's other people, so I'm gonna be fine. You know, I just want to prove to myself that I can do it still. But like I say, we're not going anywhere. This isn't the end. It's just gonna be a little bit quieter like it has been. Thank you so much to everyone who has been watching and who has stuck with us, and we appreciate you all. We appreciate all the amazing comments. Sorry we don't get round to replying to all of you. And if I end up doing more sort of solo trips, let me know where you'd like to see me go. I'm really excited for Benny to take this time away and figure some stuff out for himself on this walk. You know, he might be a little bit less on the channel if he decides to take a direction more towards his music, but whatever he does, I'm excited for him, and I hope you guys will be too. Okay, I will see you soon. I really appreciate you watching. I'm sorry if it's been a really long, rambling video. Yeah, thank you, and thanks to our members and to everyone who's bought us coffee. You know, this support means that we can make our videos. I will see you next time. Goodness knows where I'm going to be, but I'm going to be on my own and it's going to be an adventure, and I'm really excited. So see you then. Thanks, guys. Bye. Bye.